Now at 5, local health officials offer advice as some area parents struggle to find baby formula. Growing forward as the FFA in Neosho gears up for its annual plant sale.
President Biden hits the road to tout the bipartisan infrastructure law. I'm Skylar Henry on Capitol Hill, where Republicans say other domestic priorities are impacting Americans right now.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Baby formula may be harder to find for some. This is KOAM News at 5. A shortage of baby formula, inflation, and product recalls made it harder for families to find formula. The Newton County Health Department's WIC program says they've been receiving more calls asking what to do if parents can't find the formula. They advise parents to call the health department with any questions about getting formula or alternatives.
Of course, if you're heavily on the formula with your infant and all of a sudden you can't get that, then that creates a problem. And so we have had some calls wondering why, and we explained the situation with the recall.
Tonight at 6, we're going to hear more from the health department as well as a pediatrician who offers tips for those struggling to find formula. Brings us to today's KOAM News Now Instapoll. Today's question is, have you or someone you know struggled to find baby formula? You can give us your answer at KOAMnewsnow.com/vote or through the KOAM News Now mobile app. Results are updated live, and we're going to check in on them a little bit later in this newscast. Time to pass the torch. Pittsburgh police officers today participated in the 41st annual Law Enforcement Torch Run. Officers passed this torch to each other as they ran from the police department to PSU's football field. Torch runs are held all across the state to kick off the spring Special Olympics track and field games.
So when we run into the stadium and they're kind of cheering for us, and then we get to cheer for them, and then after we're done we change into uniform and we go hand out the medals to them. So that's really fun.
Lieutenant Moore has been the director of Law Enforcement Torch Run for more than 16 years. The flame of hope is carried in as a symbol of courage and celebration of diversity, uniting communities all around the globe. Flower power and more. Neosho, Missouri FFA students are gearing up for their annual plant sale at the high school Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week. They offer a wide range of flowers, ferns, and vegetable plants, and they learn in the process.
The plant sale is kind of like the end of our year-long project. So in ag, we do a lot of hands-on learning, and so this is a great opportunity for students to not only learn about raising and caring for plants, but to see the end product go out to customers.
Some of the money goes back to the greenhouse to prepare for next year. Funds also support activities like FFA Camp. Doug Eddy joins us now with a first look at the weather.
Well, not a bad day for us today. Quite a bit of sunshine during the morning hours, and then the clouds slowly started to increase, and we've had some scattered showers and thunderstorms that have popped up over the past couple hours. Most of these have been along and north of I-44. Nothing strong, nothing severe, just moderate, good old little thunderstorms, really from Stockton Lake over toward Greenfield and then stretching back through southeastern parts of Kansas. And you can see these are just very scattered about, nothing very strong, but a little bit stronger of a cluster, Chanute over toward Fredonia, Neodesha, and also Iola up toward Yates Center. These are going to be hit and miss through the evening hours. They'll kind of calm down a little bit after 8 or 9 o'clock, and then we'll see some picking up mainly south of Interstate 44. But these are going to try to flare up a bit late tonight into tomorrow morning. Some of those could be a little bit stronger. Severe threat tomorrow as well. We're going to break it all down for you here in just a bit.
See you then. President Biden traveled to a battleground state today to tout his trillion-dollar bipartisan infrastructure law. In New Hampshire, he's particularly focusing on how funding it'll fix America's ports to alleviate ongoing supply chain issues. The president's continued push for one of his administration's signature achievements comes less than 7 months from what could be a tough midterm election for his party. Skylar Henry reports from Capitol Hill.
At New Hampshire's Portsmouth Harbor, President Biden highlighted his bipartisan infrastructure law, which includes $17 billion to fix the nation's ports and waterways.
We can build a better America.
This year, Portsmouth's deep water harbor was awarded more than $1 million through the legislation to dredge its shipping lanes and basin. It's a critical supply chain access point in the Northeast, moving more than 3 million tons of cargo a year as the nation continues to grapple with backlogs and shortages.
We're sending a message. This port is open for business and will be for a long time.
Decades-high inflation and soaring gas prices have overshadowed the president's popular infrastructure law, and Republicans are pouncing on those issues in their bid to retake control of Congress in November.
It's hard to find anything that's going in the right direction. I think it's likely to be a pretty big shift in Congress.
So let's be absolutely clear about why we have such high prices now. There are two reasons. First was COVID, and the second big reason for inflation is Vladimir Putin.
Among those joining President Biden Tuesday were New Hampshire Senator Maggie Hassan and Congressman Chris Pappas, both Democrats up for re-election in the 2022 midterms. But the White House said politics does not play a role in the president's trips, adding he is proud to discuss his agenda in red states, blue states, and purple states. Skyler Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
While in New Hampshire, the president touted the federal funding being used to fix the nation's roads, bridges, and water pipes through the infrastructure law. He also noted that the war in Ukraine will continue to take a toll on energy and food prices in the U.S. Russia has launched a new offensive in the Donbas region of eastern Ukraine. The Kremlin confirmed that the next phase of what it calls a special military operation is underway. President Biden has convened a conference call with Western allies to discuss how to respond. The West could be stepping up with more weapons to Ukraine, and a new round of sanctions is expected as well. Israeli fighter jets strike the southern Gaza Strip in a series of attacks aimed at Hamas targets. The Israeli military says it was targeting a Hamas weapons manufacturing site. The attack comes after Palestinian militants fired a rocket into southern Gaza, the first attack in months. And Donald Trump Jr.'s fiancée, Kimberly Guilfoyle, met with the January 6th Select Committee in person yesterday. Guilfoyle worked on Donald Trump's presidential campaign, and she's a key witness to the events leading up to January 6th. Guilfoyle was with the former president that morning, and she was backstage with him and other family members during the Stop the Steal rally that day. A little bit later, the future of inflation.
High food prices will likely increase more. I'm Michelle Medina, and I'll explain why.
But first, could smartphones be making us dumb? That's next in Health Watch. Topping today's Health Watch, putting labels on acetaminophen to list the proper dosing amount or to identify which products contain the medication did not help reduce hospital admissions for accidental overdoses. It's according to new research from Canada that found overdoses of the common, generally safe over-the-counter pain reliever are responsible for thousands of emergency room visits in the U.S. each year. A new study finds lifelong excess weight nearly doubles a woman's risk of endometrial cancer. Researchers in England say two hormones, testosterone and fasting insulin, increased the risk. And a new analysis of adults with type 2 diabetes finds those in the highest weight group who go down to the lowest weight group increase their life expectancy by more than 3.5 years. Doctors say this finding reinforces the need for people with diabetes to watch their weight. Take a look around the room you're in right now. Most of us have a smartphone in our hands within arm's length or maybe tucked into a pants pocket. For years, researchers have made a case that smart technology may be bad for our brain power. Now, a team of researchers from the U.S. and Canada want you to know what they've discovered about digital devices and dumbing down. Information at the touch of our fingertips, or many touches of our fingertips.
I think I'm on my phone for a good, this is going to sound really bad, for a good 10 hours maybe.
Some scientists have theorized that scrolling quickly through multiple open apps makes us unfocused. Others have said that young people especially lose cognition or brain power when machines do the work for them.
There's not a calculator on your phone. I can never see kids add up anymore.
Researchers studied 4 dozen published reports on smart tech use. They say despite the headlines,
the arguments that they are making us dumber don't hold up.
Instead, Shimuro suggests smart technology makes us smarter.
It's because what it's doing is enhancing our abilities to do smart things. And it enhances our abilities to do smart things by kind of offloading some of the tasks to a piece of technology.
Technology that calculates, stores information, and memorizes.
Young people now don't know anyone's phone number. They might know their parents' phone numbers. Sometimes they don't even know their own phone number. So again, all that memory storage that we devoted to remembering phone numbers, we can now use for something else.
For example, learning a new language or how to cook or draw. And while there are drawbacks to smartphone use like tech neck, sore digits, and disrupted sleep patterns, Shimuro says making us dumb is not one. Professor Shimuro also said there are consequences to using certain types of apps. For example, some social media sites have been thought to decrease teens' self-confidence and well-being, but again, that smart tech use is not impacting cognition. And that is a look at today's health news. Later, how the war in Ukraine is impacting the price of crops and other goods.
Plus, plenty of chances for thunderstorms over the next few days. We're going to break that down coming up. Not a bad Tuesday for us today, but we have had some scattered showers and thunderstorms out there. Just kind of moderate storms, but they have been dropping some very small hail within some of these storms over the past couple hours, and they are scattered, so not everybody's getting the rain. But we do have a severe threat that creeps into the picture tomorrow night, also on Thursday, and then returning late Saturday into Sunday. So we need to focus on that over the next couple days. Temperatures are really going to warm up. Also with the storms this weekend, we could pick up some heavy amounts of rain. Of course, you can get the long-range forecast, month-long blog, that is KOAM. Newsnow.com. Looks okay. This is Indigo Sky Casino and Resort just outside of Seneca, Missouri. We have those partly cloudy skies. Temperatures not as warm as most people would like, not as warm as what I would like, but better. We're into lower 60s. We do have some 70s in our southern counties, a little bit cooler in our northern counties where you have thicker clouds and those on and off scattered showers and thunderstorms. At the airport, 63, southerly winds 10 to 15. Look at the humidity, it's bone dry. So it really takes one of these stronger storms to produce any rain. We're dropping back into the 50s through the evening hours, and we're going to continue to have these hit and miss little scattered thunderstorms. Nothing strong, nothing severe for this evening, which is good news. Most of these have been north of I-44. Again, just kind of light to moderate little showers and thunderstorms, but some of these have produced some very small hail as they have raced off toward the east, really from Stockton Lake down to Greenfield, Lockwood. Another little cluster kind of building in our western counties, Iola, Chanute, Fredonia, and Neodesha, a little bit stronger once you get up near Yates Center, and then another little cluster once you get out into Chautauqua County, which is going to move into Montgomery County, Independence, also Coffeyville as we go through the evening hours. Another batch just south of Oklahoma City. These will track to our south, and then we'll see another little flare-up late tonight into tomorrow morning as this system pulls out, and it just kind of has little chunks of energy that are coming at us over the next couple days. But we do have a severe threat. Kansas, Oklahoma, a little bit of Missouri for us tomorrow. A low threat, but the threat is there that we need to watch. 4 p.m. to 11 p.m. Main threat, hail and wind. I'll keep tornado threat low, but it is there. The hail threat, if we get those storms to pop up, is a little bit more elevated. That's kind of the main threat of these storms. All right, hit and miss through the evening hours. As we go into the morning hours, 5 a.m., kind of flaring up a little bit, especially along the state line. So we could pick up a few little stronger storms tomorrow morning. Then a lot of clouds hang out all day. If we can break out and see some sunshine tomorrow evening, we're going to get some storms that try to get going. 60 by noon, 67. It's going to be windy, south winds 15 to 25. So we'll have to see if some of these storms can get going tomorrow evening. If they do, they could have some large hail, some very gusty winds. Scattered thunderstorms stick around tomorrow night, and some of these could be strong to possibly severe as we head into Thursday morning. So just a lot of rounds to watch over the next few days. 67 tomorrow, 75 Thursday. Friday's going to be great, minus the wind. 81, it's going to be nice. Thunderstorms sneak back in late Saturday into Sunday.
So you put one great day in that week.
One great day, yes.
Thanks, Doug. Hey, here's a look at our tower camera, sponsored by R.E. Smith Construction, as work continues on the KOAM More Power project. Check it out anytime on our website, koamnewsnow.com/power. Coming up, a slowdown in mail delivery. First, though, we honor a local World War II veteran. Morris Forsyth served in the U.S. Army from 1941 to 1946. He was stationed in France and received a Purple Heart. His hometown, Altoona, Kansas. And we are proud to salute Technical Sergeant Morris Forsyth, a four-state hero. Topping today's Consumer Watch, some packages may take 1 or 2 extra days to get to their destination. In an effort to lower costs, the U.S. Postal Service is slowing delivery times for nearly 1/3 of all first-class packages and reducing its reliance on air transportation, instead using more trains and trucks. The new policy goes into effect on May 1st. Mask changes are taking place at Uber. Starting today, rideshare drivers and passengers no longer have to wear a face covering. The company is also letting passengers sit in the front seat again, only if they're in a large group and there's not enough space in the back. Verizon says it's bumping its minimum wage for employees to $20 an hour. Assistant managers who are bilingual, work Sundays or holidays will receive an even bigger pay bump. The company is also rolling out sign-on bonuses for some positions. Prices are on the rise for just about everything, and now certain industries are being hit even harder because of the war in Ukraine. Nichelle Medina explains.
Farmers are facing growing costs. At Tri-County Fertilizer in Richmond, Kentucky, prices are way up.
Fertilizer is up $300 to $400 a ton in some cases $500 to $600 a ton.
Much of the price hikes are from gas prices driving up shipping costs. And now the war in Ukraine is also having an effect.
Russia is the second largest exporter of fertilizer. And with the sanctions and the trade embargoes that we have, it's limiting the amount of supply of fertilizer that's on the marketplace.
Patrick Penfield is a professor of supply chain practice at Syracuse University and says that's making it more expensive to grow crops.
To exacerbate matters, now we have this other issue where now Ukraine is not farming, they're not producing anything, they're not being able to ship stuff out.
Ukraine is one of the world's leading suppliers of wheat, corn, and other grains used in countless products we eat every day. Those supply shortages will likely make the high price of groceries here at home even higher. Businesses like New Jersey's Four City Brewing are also paying more.
Grain has gone up 18, 20, 25 cents a pound. So when you're talking about hundreds, maybe 1,000 pounds per batch, it's a lot of money.
And the price of cans is going up. That's because Russia is a major exporter of aluminum.
I think the problem in the Ukraine is going to ripple, and it's not going to affect us right now, but it's going to affect us in general over the time.
The company hasn't raised prices for their customers yet, but the owners believe they'll eventually have to. Nichelle Medina, CBS News, Los Angeles.
A final check of the forecast next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, a heartwarming story about an NBA star who's paying it forward by giving up his entire salary this season. Then on KOAM News at 6, Amazon Prime shoots a series episode at MSSU. Plus, Oklahoma Governor Stitt recognizes the anniversary of the Oklahoma City bombing. And the health department and a pediatrician offer tips for those struggling to find baby formula. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. All right, let's take another look at our KOAM News Now Insta poll. We've been asking, have you or someone you know struggled to find baby formula? So far, about 58% say, yeah, someone has. You still have time to participate at koamnewsnow.com/vote or through the KOAM News Now mobile app. We're going to have the final results on this poll on KOAM News at 10. Doug, Hetty, some storm chances ahead.
Yeah, we're going to have scattered thunderstorms, very scattered throughout the evening into the overnight hours. They may flare up a little bit late tonight into tomorrow morning. That could be a little bit stronger. I'm not worried about anything severe tonight. Tomorrow afternoon and evening, we do have a threat for some strong to severe thunderstorms. So we need to keep our eyes on that. That threat continues into Thursday, returns late Saturday into Sunday. Temperatures really warm up. Also, the winds are really going to pick up. We could have gusts right around 40 for us tomorrow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, get the trash cans inside, and the
Yes.
kids and the pets. Thanks for joining us. CBS Evening News is next. Of course, we'll be right back here for KOAM News at 6. We'll see you then. Let's make it a great evening.